Hi and Happy New Year! As is tradition, it is time to look at the 10 resolutions I made at the beginning of last year, and I'm going to tell you the 10 resolutions I have for this year. I've been doing these videos since I think 2011, so if you want to watch any of the previous ones, I'll leave all of those in the description. So the 10 resolutions I had for 2014. Number 1, complete the 50 book challenge, and I did that. I think this is the second time I've ever done it. I didn't even have to read 20 books in December like I had to do the last time. If you want to see all the books I read, I will leave a link to my GoodReads page in the description. Number 2 was read one book from the Back to University list that I made at the beginning of last year, which is basically all the books that were ever assigned to me while studying English literature at university. There were a bunch that I never finished or never even started, and I wanted to read more from that list, and I don't think I did that at all. So that's definitely a fail. Number 3 was go to a museum once a month to do some sketching, and I would say that was sort of successful. I went to the National Portrait Gallery where I drew some statues. I went to Tate Modern to draw some modern art, and you can't really see this one, but this is a painting from the National Portrait Gallery again. I did 2 trips in February and 1 in April, and in May I went to the Natural History Museum and sat on a bench and kind of drew the building. And in September I went to the National Gallery and just did some random sketches of some really ugly cupids. So I went a couple of times, did some sketching, and I feel like I sort of completed that challenge. Number 4 was to translate 2 books. Yeah, I didn't do any of that at all. So also not completed. Number 5 was to complete the entire French section of Duolingo, which is an app and a website that can teach you different languages. I don't think I touched Duolingo for the entire year, so once again, not completed. Number 6 was get out of London. Go on some fun trips outside of London to see more of the country, and actually got to go on tour with a couple of authors for my job this year. I think I went to Manchester and Liverpool, and I also went on a trip with my parents and with Marion to the Peak District, and I feel like I just had a full week to explore the countryside, and I went to see all these beautiful houses that were used in adaptations of some of my favorite books. I recently posted a video of Haddon Hall, which is where they filmed a lot of Jane Eyre. So yes, I definitely feel like I left London this year and went on exciting adventures. Then I was going to read 10 Shakespeare plays and go see a Shakespeare play at the Globe. I watched the Shakespeare in Love DVD on Christmas Day. I actually ended up just reading Twelfth Night and doing a video about that, but I'm not giving up yet. Number 8 was play piano every month, rent a piano room, and kind of practice every month, and that just turned out to be not practical at all because the only rental places I could find were all the way across the city, and it was just not really working out, so didn't do that. 9. Learn Morse code and the radio alphabet. I had a really embarrassing phone conversation yesterday where they made me spell my full name and address, and didn't go very well, so no, I didn't complete this challenge. And then finally, number 10 is finish all my travel guides. I was working on all these posts for Amsterdam and London and the Fault in Our Stars travel guide. I worked on it a lot this year. I went back to Amsterdam and filmed a lot more footage and worked on a map, and I'm currently redesigning my blog so it's sort of ready to host all the travel guides. So I worked on it, but they're not quite done yet. So conclusion, some hits, some misses. So we're gonna leave that in the past and move on to my 2015 resolutions. Once again, there are 10. There's a bit of crossover from last year, but there are also some new things. Number 1, obviously, read 50 books. I'm doing the 50 book challenge again. If you want to sign up yourself, you can do so on GoodReads, and I'll put a link to that in the description. Number 2 is read 5 Dutch books that have been translated into English, and then do a review of both editions. So read both the Dutch version and the translated version and talk about those in videos. I want to read more Dutch books. I want to raise more awareness for Dutch books. So that's definitely one of my main goals for next year. Number 3, we're gonna do the 10 Shakespearean plays again. I'm basically gonna read 9 instead of 10 because I read 1 this year. I want to try and go to the Globe and see a play. It's on. Number 4 is I want to manage my personal library. So my friend Rosianna recently did a project where she is trying to get down to owning about 50 books. Seeing her kind of giving away books and kind of slimming down her collection was really interesting. According to GoodReads, I currently own about 400 books. I think I don't own 400 anymore because I gave a lot of books away before I moved into my new flat. But I'm thinking 250 is a good number. There are a lot of books that I want to read once and then probably get rid of. We'll see how I do. Number 5 is I'm going to translate 1 book from Dutch to English. I have made a selection of Dutch children's books. I'm going to read all of them, decide which one would be best for this project, and then do it. And then another repeat from last year, number 6, I want to complete the French course on Duolingo. Also, if you want to follow along and see how I'm doing, you can follow me on Duolingo. Link will be in the description. Number 7 is half a repeat, but with something added. Finish all the travel guides that I was talking about. And I also want to start blogging every week. I have a blog, which is booksandquills.blogspot.com, which I'm currently sort of redesigning. I have so many pictures from all the traveling I've done over the last 4 years probably, and they're just on my hard drive and they're not being used, so I want to do a lot more picture-based blogging. So if you're interested in that, you can check out my blog. Then to do some more London exploring, number 8, I want to do 10 things from Tired of London, Tired of Life, which is an awesome book which has one thing to do in London for every day of the year. Some of the things coincide with special events and some of them are just on random days. I've had this book for a while and I want to just do some fun things from it. For example, October 28th, hunt for body snatchers at the rising sun. Number 9 is to completely switch to cruelty-free skincare and makeup. If you follow the beauty channel that I have with Marion, which is called derpinaMODE, link will be in the description, you know that in May we sort of started switching to cruelty-free makeup and skincare. It's sort of hard to do if you don't really know which products you can buy, but once you do some research, it becomes a lot easier. Now I still have loads and loads of products that aren't cruelty-free that I need to use up, so I'm hoping that in about a year's time I'll have worked through most of those and then all the products that I'll be buying will be cruelty-free. And then finally, it's the one that's been on my resolutions list for years and I'm just gonna add it again as number 10, and it is learn Morse code and the radio alphabet. I just like having a wacky challenge in there that I can freak out about once it hits December. So those are my resolutions for 2015. If you have any resolutions or just any challenges that you're setting yourself, let me know in the comments. Also, if you're setting yourself a reading challenge, I would love to hear how many books you're aiming for this year. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll talk to you guys later. Doei!